If you are wondering whether a man loves you and respects you, then today I got the episode for you that's going to give you great clarity on how masculine men love a woman. Because a lot of times a masculine man won't just really come right out and say, I love and respect you. He will do it subtly through his actions and the things that he provides for a woman. So by the end of this episode, you will have a great understanding of how masculine men love and care for a woman. So make sure you stay all the way to the end of this episode, because I'm going to help you to never waste time with the wrong man ever again. Whether you're single and looking to attract a masculine man, or you're currently in a relationship and you're kind of stuck wondering, does he really love me? Does he really care about me? Does he really respect me? Or has that relationship kind of dwindled away? Okay, so by the end of this, I'm going to give you 4 things, solid, actionable, tangible things that you will greatly understand about how the masculine psyche is really working and operating, okay? Number 1 is he listens to you and takes action on the things that you mention, okay? He listens intently. This doesn't mean that he's sitting there scrolling on his phone and just nodding his head going, yes, okay, yeah, cool, yup, and just passively acknowledging you. That is not listening, okay? Listening is he's present, he hears you, but then the full completion of this means that he takes action on something that you had mentioned, okay? For example, this could be, say you had a long day at work and you're feeling really stressed out, and he does something to provide a solution and take some of the load off of you, to provide you a sense of comfort, to provide you with a sense of ease. This is a man listening to you, listening to your words, wants to step in, provide a solution, provide you with comfort, okay? Another example, maybe you mentioned, hey, I would really love some sushi. I'm feeling like craving some sushi lately. Boom. Next thing you know, he's planned a dinner date and you guys are going to get sushi. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I've said this before. I'm saying it again. A masculine man, when he is invested in a woman, when he cares about a woman, he will listen to her and want to provide things for her. I do this all the time with my wife. I just do it inherently. Not because I'm going, good boy, getting brownie points. Like, it's genuine care for her to make her life just a little bit easier. The other day, I noticed that she mentioned that she needed gas before she was taking the baby somewhere. So what did I do? I heard her say that. Half hour later, I jumped in her car, drove down, pumped gas for her, brought it back. It's the little things when a man pays attention to those details and he takes action on those words. She could just be saying it in passing. If he just grabs something, he doesn't have to do this all the time. He doesn't need to be perfect. He doesn't need to do it all the time. But if he pays close attention to the things that she says, the things that you say, and he takes action on those, that means that he's invested in you. Because a man who loves you will remember details. Okay? Write this down. A man who loves you will remember details. If he's not taking action, he's either lazy or not that serious about you, okay? If a man is not taking action to provide you with a sense of better life, comfort, solutions, love, little things, he's either lazy and passive, or he's not that into you, okay? And that's where you really need to accept the truth, okay? And stop trying to drag a man who's just not that into you to get him to be that into you, because he's probably not going to be, okay? So I want you to reflect upon this. Think about the last time your man acted on something you said without you acting twice, without you asking twice, not acting twice. Think about the last time your man, or a man, if you're single right now, acted on something that you said without you having to bring it up a bunch of times, okay? Was it small or significant? And how did it make you feel? Okay, so the reason why I want you to reflect upon this is because a masculine man is going to be attentive to a woman's needs. The more attentive he is, the more loving he is, the more invested he is, the more he loves and respects you. Okay? Number 2 is he communicates clearly and does not leave you wondering. This is probably one of the biggest things that women need to understand. I don't give a goddamn. I don't give a holy shit how busy he is. If a man cares about you and he wants to be in your life, I don't care what his excuses are. I don't care. It doesn't matter what's going on in his life because he will communicate with you. Clearly, he will let you know what's going on. Even if that's just a simple check-in. Hey, just wanted to check in, let you know I'm really stressed right now. I'm going through it. Just lost somebody in my family. I'll let you know that I've been thinking about you and I'll reach out in a couple of days. Even that little bit of communication right there is huge. But if he's just ghosting you and just going cold and going silent, he's not that into you. And you need to learn to accept that. And then from there, you never chase him. If a man, I need to drive this home into women's brains. You never chase after a man, especially when he is pulling back. Okay? I can remember when I was dating and single and women would chase after me, it would annoy me. I didn't like that feeling of being chased after by a woman. Men don't want that. And a lot of times in this skewed world, women think that by chasing after a man, showing him all your love and affection, sending him those long messages, writing him little love notes or sending him cute little emails or sending him flowers, he doesn't want that. We don't want that. We want to be the pursuer. We want to be the hunter. This doesn't mean that you can't initiate nice things. You can't do nice things for him. But if you are the one that is doing a majority of the giving and chasing, you are reversing the polarity and you are not in your dark, magical, magnetic, feminine energy. If you'd like me to do more content about the dark feminine energy, by the way, how to be magnetic, how to be irresistible, how to be seductive as a woman, put that down in the comments right now if you're watching on YouTube, and I will do future content around the dark feminine energy and how to create irresistible attraction so a masculine man continues to pursue you. By the way, for ladies watching this right now, my wife and I are doing a free masterclass for women to become irresistibly feminine. This is a 1-hour free masterclass to teach women how to become irresistibly feminine. Okay, so think magnetism, think being a seductress, think being irresistible, think having the right men and eventually the right man come into your life because you're magnetic or drawing out the current masculine that you're with. Think of all those things, okay? Sign up for this event. You can do this down in the description, whether if you're listening on podcast right now or on YouTube, down in the description, you will see a link for the free masterclass, okay? Sign up for this. Spaces will fill up, and we've done previous free masterclasses that have hit capacity because the software will only allow so many people to sign up. So make sure you grab your seat for that, okay? This is February 5th. That is a Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We look forward to seeing you there. So, number 2 is he clearly communicates and doesn't leave you wondering. How annoying is it when a man just leaves you on red, right? It drives you nuts. And then what do? You start chasing after him. You got to start proving yourself worthy to him, and you look for his validation and love and approval. Don't do that. Do not go after him. That is the worst thing you can do. I know men aren't going to tell you this, but I'm a man telling you this right now. Don't do it. Because if you do that, you kill the attraction. You stop allowing him to pursue you when you should be the one pulling him into you. And if you know what? If he doesn't reach out, he doesn't communicate, guess what? He's just not the right guy for you. And you got to keep it moving. Okay? Because if you don't keep it moving, you're just going to linger around keeping yourself in limbo with this open-ended dipshit that's just dragging you along. So if you want to be a valued, loved, cherished woman, then you don't leave open-ended dipshits in your life. Are we clear on this right now? We don't, say it with me now, we don't leave open-ended dipshits in our life if he's dragging you along, because you need to learn self-worth. You need to learn to respect and love yourself. And when you do that, then a man will follow suit and also love and respect you. The right man, of course. Okay. So say it with me, and you can put this down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. We're not allowing open-ended dipshits to drag us along anymore. Okay. We have self-worth. We have self-love, right? We want to have that sense of self-worth and self-love. And that radiates confidence and magnetism to the right man to come into your life, to love you, to provide for you, to cherish you. So if you don't have that right now, you're probably doing what I'm telling you not to do, which is chasing after men. You're the one planning the dates, giving everything to him. You're always doing the giving. You're always doing the planning, the pursuing. You're always doing this shit that pushes men away and attracts little beta feminine men. You don't want these beta feminine men. You want a strong masculine man who loves you, right? Yes, of course you do. Okay. So sign number 3 is he makes time for you. Once again, going back to the communication thing, a masculine man will prioritize you even when he is busy. He doesn't need to be reminded because he values you. Okay. If he's in, he'll make time. If he's not in, guess what? He won't make time for you. So stop trying to justify it in your mind of why he's not making time for you. I'm going to tell you it. I'm going to clear out the crud. I'm going to clear out the fog right now in your mind. Okay. If he's in, meaning he's into you, he'll make time. If he's not into you, accept these words, he won't make time for you. Let me say it again. If he's not into you, he's not going to make time for you. Okay. So take a nice deep breath and realize that you have to learn to receive a man when he's giving and to let a man go when he's not. I know that's a very difficult thing, by the way. Okay, so a couple examples here. He's got a packed week, but he still makes room for date night, or maybe he makes room to give you a phone call. He makes time to see you. He makes time to talk to you because he wants to be in your life, because he's invested in you, because he's loving and respectful of you. Okay, another example. He calls or texts just to check in with you, even during his busy days. You see how I'm going back to busy? Because a lot of men will use that as an excuse. Well, I've just been working a lot lately. I've been having a lot going on in my life. I'm dealing with this family crisis. I'm dealing with this at work. Every man is busy, okay? No matter how busy I become, I always make time to connect to my wife. I just don't allow myself to get super busy. It's just because I found balance in my life, which took me a long time. Side note, I always connect to my wife on a daily basis, no matter what I have going on in my life. You want to know why? Because she is a top priority in my life. Arguably the number one priority in my life, okay? My work, my business, my friend groups, my hobbies, all of these things are not as important as the connection that I have to my wife. And I know this because she inherently brings me so much value, right? And this is a reciprocal ecosystem that we have created. But when a man is all in, he'll make time for his woman. If he's not all in, he'll make excuses, okay? So if he says he's too busy, it's not his schedule, it's his priorities. If a man says that he's too busy to talk to you, to see you, to hang out with you, to communicate to you, it's not his schedule, it is his priorities, and you are not falling at the top of his list of priorities. You're falling more at the bottom. You're just an option, okay, for him. You're just a placeholder at that point. And if you don't want to be a placeholder, then you need to remove yourself as a placeholder, okay? When a man loves and respects you, he will show you through his time because men really value their time. Time is very important to men. So if he's choosing to share time with you, then he wants to be with you. He's invested in you. So I want you to think about the last time a man made time for you during a hectic period of his life, okay? How did it make you feel? How did it make you feel? If this did happen, What did it feel like to have this happen? If it hasn't happened, why do you think that is? Sign number 4, he protects your femininity. Now, I saved the best one for last because this is ultimately the most important one. Because if a man doesn't do this, he doesn't care about you. He's not that into you. You're just an option in his life, just a placeholder. He will protect your femininity at all costs, okay? A masculine man cherishes your femininity. He creates a safe space for you to feel soft, for you to be playful, for you to be emotional, for you to be sensitive, for you to be vulnerable, for you to be all the things. And he can handle that. He can hold that, okay? He doesn't tell you to calm down when you're feeling stressed out or upset about something or sensitive. He leans in. He listens. He holds space. Because that is a man that wants to protect your femininity because he knows how valuable your femininity is. Now, once again, a lot of women have repressed their femininity because they become hardened in their masculinity. And there's many reasons for this. One of the biggest reasons is they were raised by cold, overbearing mothers that taught them to be hardened, that taught them to be masculine, and they were raised by passive, absent fathers who never showed them healthy masculinity, right? So a lot of times, women actually learn masculinity from their mothers, who are very cold, checked out, emotionally numb, and that mother wound trickles down into the woman, and she becomes stressed, burned out, overworked, overgiving, basically the masculine in her life. Now, if you'd like me to create more content around this, drop it down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube right now, because I'd be happy to talk more about the mother wound and how that deeply impacts a woman's relationship to her own masculinity, okay? When you are with a man who protects your femininity, you will feel safe to be soft. You will let down your shield if you've healed your past pain. I really want to throw this in there. If you've healed your past pain and you're not still guarded from your past, you will feel like you can just drop into your femininity. Like, just imagine yourself walking through an airport, being with a masculine man. Just visualize this for a moment with me. Being with a masculine man who has handled the flights, he's handled the baggage, he knows what terminal he's going to, and he's just on that mission, and you're right there by his side, and you can just turn your brain off. How nice would that be? Wouldn't that be amazing? But instead, you're probably the one that's handled the flights, handled the baggage, took care of the kids, packed the meals, packed the clothes. You've probably done it all. And dragging behind you is this passive little feminine man who just doesn't give a shit about anything. He's just coasting through life. And here you are handling it all. How does that feel to be that woman? It sucks, doesn't it? And that's probably a little triggering to hear that. And I understand that. But if you've chosen to be with that type of man, or you keep attracting men like that, it's you that needs to change that. And that's an internal thing that needs to be adjusted. So, a couple examples here. When a man protects your femininity, when he preserves your femininity, you're overwhelmed and he says, what can I take off your plate? How can I best support you right now? Instead of trying to just jump in and fix you, he says, what can I do for you? What can I take off your plate right now? How can I support you, baby? And that's up to you to communicate and say, well, I really could use help with blank, or I would love for blank. You can't just shut down and be like, oh, nothing, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay. A lot of women do that. It's such a fatal mistake. When he's wanting to serve you, don't deny his service. Next example, you're emotional. Instead of shutting down, he comforts you. So when you're emotional, instead of him just withdrawing and be like, oh my fucking God, I can't deal with their emotions anymore, it's just too much. He steps in and he comforts you. He gives you a sense of love and safety, holds you, reminds you, reassures you. Everything's gonna be okay, baby. I got you. It'll all work out. Nothing to worry about. And it just grounds you down into your body because you feel so safe in his masculine presence. This is a sign that a man loves you and respects you because he's taking time away from his day to now create comfort and safety for you. That is a man that wants to protect your femininity. Once again, the reason why I saved this one for last is because it's arguably one of the most important things that a man can do when he loves a woman is he wants to protect her femininity. Again, from everything. He'll want to provide for her. He'll want to take the technical things out of her life. He'll want to take the stress about money out of her life, the stress about insurance and car stuff and bills and taking this trash out. You know what I mean? He'll want to remove those stresses from her life because he knows that her femininity doesn't thrive in those environments. He'll be the one to put the armor on and say, baby, I got you. You step back. I'll handle this. Okay? And you need to learn how to allow that to happen. So society might tell you to toughen up as a woman, but a masculine man doesn't want a competitor. He wants a woman who embraces her feminine energy, isn't afraid to be vulnerable, isn't afraid to be open, isn't afraid to be soft, isn't afraid to be just raw and sensual. Because this all creates an environment where he will feel nourished by her femininity. Okay? Once again, if you want to learn how to become irresistibly feminine, my wife and I are doing a free masterclass on February 5th, Wednesday at 6 p.m. for women to become irresistibly feminine. Once again, this is a free masterclass. The link is down in the description on YouTube and the podcast if you're listening right now on the podcast. I appreciate you being here with me. Once again, it would mean the world to me if you're still with me right now to leave a comment down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. And it would just mean a lot to me because I appreciate you being here. As always, stay open, stay loving, and stay connected to that powerful source within you.